Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Obviously we have awesome news as usual. You can see this area, the Kharkiv region itself, is almost freed from Russian occupiers. And now let's go and see more detailed picture, my friends. We took Kupiansk, we took Izyum. Here you can see it's still in a gray area, however we have footages and videos exactly from the city showing that Ukrainian flag is over there. It took Russians many months and heavy losses to occupy those cities, but now in just 1 week we were able to free the most of the part of the Kharkiv region. As you can see, still we are not far away from the border itself, but lots of land to get rid of the Russians. Honestly, I didn't expect that we're gonna free those cities that fast, and now the fighting is ongoing on the north part of Kharkiv. Here we can zoom into Vovchansk, and the part of the city is already taken by Ukrainian forces, we may state that, and they evacuate their own government, the local government, to Russian border. And also there are lots of cars of those who collaborated with Russian regime. They afraid of Ukrainian forces, of Ukrainian soldiers, they afraid of revenge, and now they're running away to Russian territory. However, Russia doesn't want to let them in. And that is why there are lots of queues near to the Russian border, and also we have some of the success near to Lopan. Just to remind you, Russia was able to build a huge defense line over here, but we were able to break through that, and now we are also near to the Russian border over here. The same goes here near to Mali, Prohodi and Lipsy, so we are also very close to that place, and I expect Russians just to run away also from the north side. And it's great for Kharkiv because now they can target Kharkiv using artillery systems. Just want to measure they're still reachable. We need to drive them away from this territory. The most popular rocket artillery system for Russian army is Grad. It has the range up to 25 kilometers. And also they cannot reach the Kharkiv with 152mm standard artillery systems. So for sure the fighting will go and we're gonna win at this time. The question is here, my friends, whether we can reach this part of the territory. It's the Kharkiv area here, whether we can reach it after that water storage over here. Well, from the information I got, we already in Borova, my friends, so we can use this point as advancement for our forces. And also we crossed the Kupiansk and we took all of the city, and we crossed this river over here, and we can put our forces from this direction as well using this road. And actually we may enter Lugansk Oblast and then go to Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. About the Russian possible encirclement, because the main target of this counterattack was to circle Russians here in Izyum, I think, and also in the other places of this territory. Partially we succeeded and we got lots of the war prisoners. However, I think the main column of the Russian forces still was able to get it from Izyum successfully. Why? Well, basically because we were not able to block this part of the road with our forces. Yes, we can fire our artillery from this place, cutting them, but still there are lots of forces, and obviously some of them were able to escape. So for Ukraine, it would be awesome to start a counterattack near Tuliman and to cut Russia their way out from Izyum. However, this counterattack was started very late, and that's why they probably mostly escaped. And it's obviously the disadvantage of this counterattack operation, but still it's a great success for Ukrainian army. By the way, you can see there is no update for Liman and Yampil. Probably it was just a media operation telling that we are advancing towards that city. Who knows? Well, basically our generals say nothing to public right now. They say that we took several cities in Kharkiv. So far they didn't say that we took Izyum. That's why probably it's in gray territory. However, my friends, I expect more cities and villages to be freed from Russian occupiers. And now I just want to show you how it's all started and how it continued for basically 5 days. Yes, today's 9/11, 11th of September. And you can see it happened like 3 days ago. 9th of September, you can see huge advancement of Ukrainian forces towards Kupiansk at first, and then Izyum, and then to the north to Vovchansk. And Russians are just running away. Why Russians are running? Basically because they afraid of Ukrainian army, and Russia tried to send more reinforcements to Kupiansk, and all of their reinforcements were demolished. That is how we gonna take every part of Ukrainian territory back. But still, there will be some point that Russia will gather their forces and put resistance towards our counterattack, and we need to be ready for it. However, now we don't have the huge resistance. That is why I expect this counterattack to continue, maybe go through the Lugansk Oblast in this Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. Yesterday we got the information that the fighting was ongoing near to those cities. However, now it's not confirmed. Well, because of that advancement wave, there is also a media wave saying that Ukraine took that part, Ukraine took that part, and obviously we have many fakes. So for today, Severodonetsk and Lysychansk unfortunately still occupied by Russian forces. And there is no update for Donetsk airport. Yesterday I told you that we got the information that our forces advanced towards that airfield. Now it's not being confirmed, my friends, so still this airfield is controlled by Russian forces. And now let's move to the south, my friends. Here you can see some of the advancement. So it's the 10th of September. Let's go for today. Yes, we advanced here, and we are very close to the Russian military base. Obviously, we took this Suhi Stavok. It's showed in a gray territory. However, I know that we took that place. And we also took Alexandrivka. I also know it, but somehow it showed here that Russia is controlling it. And obviously, we may have some of delay for this military map because, as I told you, we need to have a break, just not to show Russian side the advancement, the actual advancement of Ukrainian army. Now speaking about the bad news, today it was the massive Russian rocket attack on Ukrainian territory, and they fired their rockets from Caspian Sea, which is far, far away, and those rockets hit the electrical system of Ukraine, and the Kharkiv region and Poltava region were just totally blacked out. Now electrical services are doing their best to restore the electrical supply, but from the information I got, Poltava, the region in Poltava and also Kharkiv region still without the electrical system. We have the generators for Ukrainian army. Obviously, it will not influence them, but for civilians, yeah, it's very bad stuff, my friends. And before we move to the latest news and updates, let me introduce you the sponsor of today's video. The sponsor of today's video is you, my friends, who are watching me right now. Thank you so much for it. Now, don't forget to press the like to this video, stay awesome, and let's continue. About the latest blackout, we have the information from the President's office, and Sumsky Oblast, Poltava region, Dnipropetrovsk region, part of Donetsk, and Kharkiv is without electrical system for now, and Russia is firing towards the electrical infrastructure. If you don't have electricity, you don't have the water because the pumps are not working, and also you cannot warm up the water for the heat during the winter time or autumn time. Now it's getting colder. This morning it was around 3 degrees centigrade, so quite cold. Russians always say that they're gonna free us from what? From electricity, water and heat. They're just stupid. Here we have the glowing from explosion. This is the explosion and fire of the biggest electrical power plant in that region. It is not nuclear power plant, it's the coal one, but it was very big. Our soldiers near to Russian border over here, so we reached Russian territory already. I wonder if we go to their part. Here's the Russian flag. We don't see any kind of Russian soldiers there, but still, I think we should stop for a while just to take a breath. One more video from the same spot. Attention, this is the place of the crossing country border, something like that. So we have our soldiers controlling it. and Russians just ran away. And this video is from Izyum. We have the main government building there. Our soldier, the building was demolished during the fighting, but some of the houses nearby, I can see that they are in a good state, so Russians mainly run away, saving their lives. And this is Goptovka, near to the Russian border. You can see our special forces there, and the area is here. I can see that it's not more than 5 kilometers from the Russian border. Our forces are in Dvorichna. It's on the north from Kupensk. We have Dvorichna sign here. Obviously, it will be repainted for Ukrainian colors, and yeah, Russia took that village long time ago, and we were able to retake it very fast. We have Russian Orlan drones that were never used, I think, so they packed in those kind of cases, and we now have them. Probably they're gonna fight for our army. And this is the electrical power plant. You can see the fire over there. I hope it's gonna be restored very soon. So you can see that partially that infrastructure object is not intact, so we have just one part of it that is severely damaged on fire, and I just hope that everything will be renewed for our civilians. If that happens during the winter time, obviously there will be massive infrastructural problem for the people, for civilians, and for me, maybe even here near to the Kyiv, because we will lose the heat, and it's very cold out there during the winter time. So obviously we need the anti-rocket systems as NASAMS to be delivered to Ukraine very soon. Lviv International Airport on the western side of Ukraine may restore its operation and could be the first Ukrainian airport to do so, but now those are just words from our infrastructure minister. For now, obviously it's unsafe because Russia may fire their rockets to any kind of the spot here in Ukraine. President Zelensky shared his condolences to American people, because yes, it's 9/11, we all remember that date. I was 14 years old then, and I remember then I heard the news about the airplane that collided to the one of the buildings of the Trade Center, and I thought, oh, it could be just an aviation accident, but after we heard about the second airplane, obviously we understood that it was the attack, intentional attack on that trade center. And not only after that, I think everything changed for many, especially in the United States, in the aviation sector, because I know it, I'm the airline pilot now, and probably after this war it's going to be the major change in the world construction again. After 9/11, the United States of America showed that they can fight for their freedom. And obviously now Ukraine also takes action to fight for our freedom. Basically, we have very similar enemies. There was barbarians, and I cannot pronounce this word starting on T on YouTube, otherwise this video will be banned or something. And we have also barbarian state to fight against. And yeah, we're gonna win it. Some of the videos and footages from the Kharkiv region. Here we have Ukrainian tanks. You can see those white pluses. It means it's our new marking for this particular counterattack, I think, and it will stay with us for a long time because there's going to be many more counterattacks. You can see T-72 probably, or maybe it's T-64. I'm not good at tanks, my friends. And here you can see Russian tanks that were taking on the track by our forces. You can see that's there. Here we can see the Russian BTR that also was taken. So Russia just throw their forces and we're running away through the swamps, lakes, rivers, and you can see what happened. So we need to drive those out and put to our army. Some of the news from Crimea: Sukhoi Su-34 airplane crashed there for unknown reason. From the information I have, pilots were okay. They ejected from the airplane. I think something happened to the airplane systems, I guess. Here's the new statistics of the Russian losses, and sometimes I got the comments saying that this statistics is not right and actual Russian losses are much lower. Well, today we have a document stated that we counted more or less correct. So this is official Russian document where Ministry of Finances reserved 360, almost 62 billion rubles for compensations for Russian widows and families of those who lost their loved ones on the front lines, let's say soldiers who lost their lives in Ukraine. And here we have the number: 48,759 soldiers already lost their lives in Ukraine. And also they asked to reserve more funds because each month they lose, as average, 8,132 soldiers in Ukrainian war. So they need more money for compensations. It's crazy, my friend. And Ukrainian statistics is pretty much the same as we see the number over here. And obviously after the war, everything will be counted as precise as possible. And I'm sure that this total number will rise up significantly because Russia also use the volunteers. Russia use the soldiers from unrecognized Donetsk, Lugansk republics. I think they have up to 70,000 people who lost their lives here in Ukraine. It never happened after the Second World War. They lost around 18,000 soldiers during the Afghan war. Now this number is astonishing and they want to hide it. But here we have the real document, my friends. How can you speculate with it? My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation here in Ukraine. I hope to receive many more awesome news for tomorrow. And now please press the like to this video, that helps me a lot. And if you want to support me, there are some links in the video description. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal or Donatello, whichever you like. Those of you who support me, my friends, you are awesome. Thank you so much for it. And I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.